Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Us Boxing. We back again with another one. We have these got some news and notes for you guys on this one. I know we got some fights coming up. Well, we got really one big card coming up. Not really a lot of boxing, but we still got something to talk about. Before I get into it, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me, I was tardio. Salute to you guys that was in the building. My bro Mike was in the building. Appreciate it. Banks Hayes was good. Salute. Appreciate you guys coming through. Hope Pounder. Yeah. Now I switched it to today, but yeah, I appreciate you though, tapping in. You know what I'm saying? But we here. Just do boxing. Appreciate you, bro, coming through. Winston Lee in the building. What's good with you? So yeah, man, I had it on my mind to do it today. So we're just gonna talk about some news and notes. You know, I do it a little different. I don't really cover the most, I guess, popular or negative uh, storylines in the sport of boxing. I kind of more, informational based. Y'all know how I do. It's a little bit different. My bro teaching the building. What's good with you? Yes, sir. So we're gonna get to it, man. Actually, we got a lot of stuff in boxing to cover. You know what I'm saying? Under the radar shit, but that's what I like. Just to give some recaps real quick because we did have some fights on the 23rd that I want to cover and go over real quick. And then we had a we had an upset early this morning just to talk about. So just going back to the Salida card, it was on the zone Thursday. It was a pretty solid card. The co-main event and the main event was dope. Um, Tapia, she got a victory. She's searching for a world title sometime down the line. She looked good. Phyllis Perilla, he looked good too. He stopped Kenneth Taylor. The kid, he was patient, going after the knockout, took his time, cut the ring off and stopped him. Ashley Lazada versus Melissa Parker. That was a good fight. That shit was back and forth. I thought that was up in the air. I thought Melissa Parker probably won the first couple of rounds. And then Lazada got back at her rhythm and she started to pick up the rounds. I scored it 5 rounds to 3. It was an 8 rounder. They had it. They had an 80-72. That was those nasty scorecards. But Lazada, she come out on top. I thought she won, but not 80-72 win. Pagan versus Malik Montgomery. This is an all action fight. Pagan, man, he showed a lot of toughness and grit in this fight. We know what Malik Montgomery brings to the table. He is a come forward pressure fighter. Got a lot of cardio, a lot of energy. But the turning point is when he got cut. He got cut by a right hand. Um, a right hand cut him on his left eye, and I thought he was doing well dealing with that. But the referee and the doctor they saw it getting worse, but they stopped it in the ninth round, and it was kind of, I don't know. I was kind of like, bro, he made it this far, let him finish. So Pagan, he gets a TKO victory over Malik Montgomery, and this is back to back losses for Montgomery, who is a highly touted prospect. 21-2 with 18 knockouts. He'll be able to get another opportunity, but damn, he got to go back to the drawing board. Early this morning, Jonriel Casamero, former 2 division world champion, he lost today. He lost against Kameda. Kameda is the kid that fought Alan Picasso on the PBC show. I think it was in July. He came up short. He gave a real tough fight. So Casamero can get right. He haven't got right since the Rigo fight, and he finally got back in the ring and came up short. So those are the 2 results from the fights. Just passed. So that's what it is. Apple LD was good with you. Cam J in the building was good. Yeah, salute to everybody coming through. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna get into some news and notes, right? All right, Tim Zoo. So we know Tim Zoo was coming off some crazy ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Got knocked out twice in the last 3 fights. He's basically 1-3 in his last 4 fights. Um, Tough stretch for him. He lost to Fundora the first fight. He got cut. He gave a good effort. went into the Bakhram fight and lost in 3 rounds, got dominated, and he got destroyed in that fight. And a lot of people don't like how his team moved him. It's funny because before that fight, nobody knew who Bakhram was. And if you watch Bakhram against Jack Koke, you'd be like, shit, Tszyu can win this fight. Then he had a tune-up fight against Joey Spencer where he looked decent in the fight. He looked a little patient, and we couldn't tell if there was any residual effects from him getting punched on. So he had no problem with that. Got the stoppage, but then he went and he supposed to fight Keith Thurman, and that was the fight that I really wanted. And before he jumped back into Fundora, because Fundora actually got his mojo back, beating Tszyu, because Fundora was coming off a knockout loss too. We forget that a lot of times. A lot of people went, even though Fundora was a late replacement, he a crazy style matchup for anybody on short notice. People was picking Tszyu to beat him because it was basing off the Mendoza fight because Tszyu has just beat Mendoza. You know what I'm saying? So we have like short term memory, and we just think, you know, we just think automatically if he beat him, it can beat him. You know what I'm saying? It don't always work like that depending on the styles. So he got stopped in the rematch. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have an answer, couldn't take shots. So now Tszyu, he fired his uncle. He got a new trainer. He gonna go with Pedro Diaz, the Cuban trainer out of Miami. He noted for training Miguel Cotto the back half of his career. I think he trained him for the Floyd fight. He trained Rigo. He used to train Herkovic. So he's a well-known trainer. Teaches defense and technical style, which Tszyu need. You know what I'm saying? And Tszyu is supposed to move up to middleweight. So we'll see. I say get about 2 or 3 fights. Go back to Australia. Fight some. Not nobody crazy, but get some wins under your belt. Get your confidence back, and then he can be in the mix because Tszyu got the name, and he has a team that can get him fights if he's ready, but he can't go in there unprepared. So that's the news. He got a new coach, Pedro Diaz, and let's see. He gonna switch his training camp. Let's see if he switch it to Miami, or do Diaz has to go to Australia doing mileage. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a good move because Diaz is more of a technical coach, teaching defense. It's a change of pace. Take him out his comfort zone. If he trains in Miami, where he can get a lot of sparring, it could be good. All right, we have a new signing at Queensbury. This is Shaquille Thompson, 6'3" middleweight southpaw. Man, if you see him, like if you ever watch him fight, you're like, damn, this dude can do some things. He's a good fighter. We don't know how good he is until we see him in, and good competition. He just recently fought on the GBM platform. He had a nice win, but he fought a faded guy. So we don't know how much to take from that. But let's see. Let's see if Queensbury push him. Now, earlier this year, he was one of the guys in consideration to fight Janibek in April. He turned it down because he said the money didn't look right. So, I mean, I don't know. Let's see though. He got some world rankings. I mean, he's a good looking young kid though. 6'3", making 160. That can box, that can punch. I mean, that seemed like a dangerous combination. But Queensbury is the right ones. They're gonna move him correctly. Hopefully, he can get back in the ring. Shoot, sometime this year. Maybe get on that December card if they can do that. So that's what's up. Yes, sir. All right. More news. So Chris Bell Smith, he pulled out of the purse bid with Ramon Freeze. So this backstory: the WBO ordered an interim title fight at cruiserweight because Zerto is out with an injury. You know what I'm saying? So they ordered an interim title. Chris Bell Smith is a former world champion. He was going in with an unknown guy from Germany, Ramon Freeze. First, they went the purse bid the first time. The minimum was $300K. Nobody bid it the first time. So the WBO, they decreased the bid to $150K. and only Ramon Freeze promoter bid on the fight, like 152,000. Man, Chris Bell Smith wasn't gonna take that because he can probably go to Riyadh season and get a bag, or stick with his promoter and get a bigger bag than that. So he pulled out. So now the WBO is gonna go down the list to see who will accept the fight with Ramon Freeze for the WBO interim. For me, they should just cancel that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Give Zerto the benefit of the doubt to say, "Hey, I'll be back." Because they say he'll be back like the first quarter and maybe second quarter. Get his shoulder together, and then because it's like a belt. Because let's say the German fighter wins, Freeze, like y'all gonna eat up Zerto. You know what I'm saying, for fighting him. Well, I don't know. It depends. But yeah, it's really unnecessary to me. So let's see if Chris Bell Smith has something bigger coming. He got to have something bigger if he turned that down for sure. Because that was a big person. He was only gonna make like 65K for the fight. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Pedro Diaz. Pedro. Freeze. Fress. Ramon Freeze from Germany. I think he like a 13-1, some shit like that. All right, more purse bid news. We were supposed to get Bakhram and Josh Kelly's purse bid this week. I think it was on a couple of days ago, but these guys postponed it. They agreed to postpone the purse bid to a week. So that normally means, that they got a deal in place. We're gonna see, man. It's a fight that they ordered this fight back in August, July, August. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. Bakhram, like I said, he got the stamp as being a boogeyman. I disagree with that because, you know, if you got certain obstacles that fighters ain't trying to, you ain't trying to accommodate certain fighters, then you're not a boogeyman to me. Like what I mean by that is, okay, how good is your team, right? Your team ain't making no offers. They don't got no network. They don't got this. So you're expecting another promotion company to bring you on board to basically pay for your title. It don't always work like that, especially if you don't bring nothing to the table of value. That's just what it is. And people can say, "Oh, they ducking this, they ducking that." Turkey wanted to make fights for him, but Turkey haven't like waved a flag for him like I've seen. He just said he was trying to make fights and nobody was wanting to fight him, or nobody accepted to fight him. So I'm like, shit. What is he doing? It comes to his team. So hopefully next week they put together something for Bakhram to be able to get steady work and fights and stay busy. He gonna have to sign a co-promotional deal with one of these promoters. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna. It's not obviously it's not gonna be a PBC. They already paid him step aside money for like 3 years, not for Charlo not to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Then he did that to Tim Tszyu, messed up all their plans, right? So they ain't going back to them because if he was gonna be with PBC, he probably would have fought on one of these cards already that they had over the summer. Um, so we'll see. I'm thinking Matchroom. I mean, me thinking, I'm like, yo, he should sign with Matchroom. Sign with Matchroom. They win the purse bids now, right? You know what I'm saying? Win this purse bid. That'd be his first fight on the Matchroom deal. His second fight is Boots. You know what I'm saying? That way, it's guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of guys, they don't want to do that second day rehydration in IBF. You know what I'm saying? Virgil's team came out and said that. That's why Boots didn't go straight to him. They wasn't trying to do that second day. So he's a guy that it probably will get unification. But if he don't get active, then he gonna mess around and fall behind the 8 ball because like we remember the Tim Tszyu knockout, but that shit's been a long time. He ain't fought in a year. And I was thinking he'll at least have a homecoming fight in Russia. If I was doing it, I would have him fought already, bro. I was like, yo, after your knuckle injury, I would have got him back out twice. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he's saying he's a boogeyman, but I get it. So we're gonna see next week. Just stay tuned for that. He said facts. Agreed. We'll see. But this is like a vital piece to 154 because we know it's a hot division. We just don't know when Bakhram coming back. So that's what it is. So speaking of a Russian promoter, this is IBA. They put on cards all the time. I'm like, bro, he could have tapped in with them, but that's another story. But we got Sosolin. He is number 2 in the WBA rankings at 154. Speaking of 54, he beat Kubanov. Kubanov was the guy that lost to Majimov for the WBA title. So IBA, they do pro and amateur fights. You know, it'll be on their YouTube channel, IBA YouTube channel. So they got a fight date coming up November the 6th. So you guys want to tap in, feel free. Another fight on that card is Malov. This kid, well, he like 30, 31. He needed to get his career pushing. He's a light heavyweight. He's a solid fighter, kind of like in the mold of Vladimir Shishkin, but he kind of been inactive, and he was with Salida, but not really a lot of motion. So he's on this card. And then light heavyweight is a division. It's starting to creep up as well. So November the 6th, you know what I'm saying, we'll be able to watch this card. All right. Yo, top rank on Tubi. Let's go. Yo, you know what? People don't really follow boxing like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They make a big deal about this, about top rank going to Tubi and Pluto and all that shit. But they've been having fights and doing this shit for like going on 2 years. Going on 2 years, bro. I'm a Tubi head, so I be on Tubi watching Top Rate. I see that one. I seen it like maybe a year ago, something like that. I'm watching Tubi, you know, watching those hood movies and shit, and I seen Top Rank got a whole channel. So of course I clicked on it, and they show all classic fights. So people acting like this some brand new shit. This shit been out for a while, but hey, welcome everybody. Everybody know now, so you know what I'm saying. Y'all should tap in. But the news is October the 30th. Michaela Mayer, the WBO welterweight champion, is going to Canada to fight Mary Spencer. And of course, you know, Tyron don't have a deal, so they're putting this fight live on that platform. You can go to Pluto has the top ranked classics. Man, rock with Tubi though. Tubi go crazy. I'll be on Tubi watching it. And it's another one, Roku, whatever. So you can watch. It's free. You don't gotta sign those subscription. You don't gotta none of that other shit. And you can go watch live boxing. And this is actually a solid card. Michaela Mayer versus Mary Spencer. This at 154. So Michaela trying to become a 3 division world champion. Mary Spencer is a tall, rangy fighter that can punch. It's not gonna be an easy fight. Wilkins Matthew, he's an up and coming prospect in Canada that can fight light heavyweight. He can fight. He got a step up fight against Shaquille Finn, so it's worth a watch. Make sure you guys tap in. This is October the 30th. That's a good card too. So yeah, bro, we'll tap in to Tubi. He said talk about it. That's a perfect move for him. Boots fight a boss, get the WBA. Yeah, they can do all that. You know what I'm saying? And put it in the contract that you guys have to fight. Yeah, that shit been out for a while. People act like it's new. That shit been out for a while. It's crazy because people who talk about this shit, yeah, two people going crazy, bro. A man with pedigree, what's good? People who's trying to demean top rank for putting this on there, cry and complain about pay per views. Those are the same ones that cry and complain about pay per views. So it isn't much to do about that. I'll be watching that shit. Okay. All right, so we got fight week fights coming up for Jake and Tank's card coming up November 14th, but November the 11th they're having a card midweek, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? I like when they do this for the big events. Jamal Harvey is coming back. He's the U.S. Olympian. He had a pro debut where he went crazy. This is his second fight against Kevin Cervantes. So he's going to headline that card. That's a great spot and showcase. They're going to fight at the the Hard Rock, Hollywood, Florida, Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So that's what they're doing all their fight week events at the Hard Rock. You have Gallegos. Gallegos is on this card. He was supposed to be on the prelims, if you guys remember. He was going to be on the prelims October 25th of Fundora and Thurman. So it's good that his promoter got him a spot not too far, you know what I'm saying, after his postponed date and keeping him active. He's a good fighter, 10-0, 8 KOs. He's a solid fighter too, up and coming. Keno Marley, that is the top amateur who just signed with MVP. He's from Brazil. Now, the backstory of this is they have Anderson Silva on the card. Brazil, from my understanding, they like the third most. They have the third most viewers in Netflix. So putting Brazilians on this card makes hella sense. They got Anderson Silva and they got this kid right here, Marley, who is making his pro debut. We have a rematch with Nazarena Romero versus Marilyn Rivas. This is going to be a great fight. They fought before for the WBA title. Two former world champions at 122. Romero was supposed to get a rematch for her title. Romero lost her title on Pro Box a couple of months ago to Flores. Flores was originally scheduled to face Ellie Scotney on this card. Well, on the Tank card, Tank and Jay card. But she had to pull out with an injury. So they'll probably reschedule Scotney versus Flores for Undisputed on the Mount Serrano's card in January, right? So these ladies are fighting pretty much a eliminator. It's gonna be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? So I like this though. You get to see. It's a showcase card. You get to see young talented fighters go at it on a big platform. That's always good for boxing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, sir. This is dope when they do that because I thought when they did it for Canelo and Crawford fight week, we had fights like on back-to-back days, and then the one they had with Jaleel Hackett on there, that was a great showcase for him. You know what I'm saying, and for the other fighters too. So yeah. All right. So DMG Boxing is back with another show, Night of Champions Part 6. Now, these guys just had a card October the 18th where they feature a lot of top-ranked fighters, a lot of top-ranked prospects. Chop Chop Gonzalez was on there, you know what I'm saying? They're doing it again. This time they have Steven Navarro, who fights at 115. He's a good prospect, too, on top rank. And then you have DJ Zamora, who's going to be on this card. So it's good that Top Rank is able to keep their prospects busy. You know what I'm saying? They owe them a certain amount of fights, 3 or 4 fights a year. And since they don't have a platform, they tag teaming with these smaller promoters to get these guys some work. So that's always good. November 21st, catching on the Millions app. You know what I'm saying? They be having cards like every other month. So tap in. We have Mazudo Ariotu. She is the WBO Ring Magazine champion at 115 pounds. She has a fight coming up, a defense coming up against Gloria Gallardo. This is November 22nd. You know, Haratu can fight, though. She's a southpaw, Japanese, got a lot of flash and flair on that anime shit, you know what I'm saying? So she marketable. She with 360 Promotions. You can catch this card on UFC Fight Pass. But it's something to note. This is a future opponent for Gabby Fundora because it's going to get to the point where we're going to be tired of seeing Gabby Fundora fight these 5'2" Mexican fighters that she over there throwing left hooks from across the ring. She should, like every other fighter, she should get some, pushback. Like, hold up, though. You don't have to keep fighting these same type of opponents. She actually have a WBA mandatory who fits that description. 5'2", nondescript, can't get in, all that shit. Now, Harioto is like maybe 5'6", whatever. She's a southpaw, but she brings a different type of skill set with her footwork, her movement. So, and she fights at 115. So if Gabby already cleaned out 112, then the natural course is to move up. Or in this case, she can move down to 108 because they have a lot of big names down there too. So yeah, eventually we'll be calling for. This is what we should be reaching for. You know, for Gabby to push herself because we do it with everybody else. I mean, let this be one of our black fighters. We'll be going crazy. Why he fighting another 5-2 opponent? We'll be go crazy. So the energy should be kept all the way across the board. Not to diminish Gabby, not to diminish her. It's just let's see her in with the top girls. And then you also have Jasmine Ortega in this division. She's the WBA champion. She just ran through a girl on the MVP card like in 2 rounds. So those are future fights for Gabby that can kind of solidify her claim to be a top pound for pound woman because she actually have fighters to fight. She can pick to fight the top girls at 108 and go up to 115 and probably go to 118 and that would solidify her as a pound for pound. But Harriota can fight though. I like her though. Very skilled. Jack Queen Boxing was good. Salute to you. Speaking facts, yeah, bro. I know what I'm saying. I put that out there because I don't really have no dog in the race, so I can speak my piece and not have to hit no backlash from anybody. I don't care. Gabby got to clean out divisions and relinquish and move her. Yeah, yep. And then she will get the credit to become. Because I think she probably top 5 pound for pound now. If you really count, maybe 3, shit. But yeah, she got fights for her, and she's still young enough to do them. But we gotta call for these sometimes. But I don't think a lot of people care enough to want to call for them because it's not their favorite fighter, or they don't know enough about these divisions. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of boxing fans don't really care to try to learn. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. November 29th, we have a GBM boxing card coming up. This is going to be live on the Zone. Krauss versus Abraham, light heavyweights. We got Huey Fury is on the card. Yo, Huey has a crazy career. He's been around forever. He only really had one big fight. That's with Joseph Parker, where he arguably won that fight. And I don't know what's man. And Huey is probably he probably just turned 30 or 31. He ain't even it's crazy. But he's on this card. I don't know. I don't know. His career is just crazy. Off that Fury name, he never was able to capitalize on that name and get big fights like his cousin did, Tyson. So I don't know. But he's back. I'm gonna watch some boxing. November 29th, tap in. I think that's right after Thanksgiving. All right, so the next 3 though, this is Pro Box. Pro Box got 3 cards in November. That's dope. And y'all know this is a box. This is a Pro Box. This is a Pro Box channel. You know what I'm saying? We fuck with Pro Box heavy over here. Been messing with them ever since they started, like late 2022 or 2022, whatever. But here we go. November the 7th, we got Nicholas Floss versus Tiger Johnson. This at the welterweight division. Very important fight for that division because I think it's wide open. You know what I'm saying? Other than Norman and Haney, I mean, after that, it's pretty much guys can get in position to get world title fights. There's another case of Top Rank lending their fighter to a platform, but this is a good fight for Tiger, and yeah, looking forward to this one. This is November the 7th. You got the Mongolian Mole on the card. He's facing Brandon Benitez. Everybody, and people that's mad about Shakur going down to spar Jake, they should be mad at Tank too because Tank had a mole in Ryan Garcia camp. You know what I'm saying? This sparring shit ain't that serious. A lot of people play into that, and I got something on that. But he did have the mole in that camp. This the kid Arden Bat. That's the kid that that hurt Ryan in sparring to the body. He can fight too. He's with Joe Goosen. He had Joe Goosen over there. You know Joe Goosen and TGB are family. You know what I'm saying? Tank know everything Ryan was doing. Bro, you know, you ain't living right. They already knew that. So it ain't no honor in sparring. So, you know what I'm saying? We'll get more into that. But I like that kid though. He can fight. Kasui versus Australabio. That's gonna be a good ass fight right there. I think it's at 118 pounds. That's gonna be a good one. So November the 7th. November the 21st, we got Francisco Verón versus Roman Villa. We know Villa because, you know, his claim to fame was getting stopped by Boots. big strong guy. I think, and they fighting at 54 too, so he should be able to fill in nicely at 154. So that's what's up. That's a good fight. Veron is he coming off a good win over Vladimir Hernandez. We have Scarborough Jr. is on the card. I actually like him. I think he's fan friendly. He got some technical shit he got to fix, but he got a step up fight against Sanchez, undefeated. Aguilar versus Louis Lopez. That's a good fight, and a crossroads fight at light heavyweight. Dante Benjamin versus Money Powell, the fourth. Yo, that's a good ass fight right there. That's good matchmaking. Like the winner can be in position to get a bigger fight. You got Najee Lopez over there at light heavyweight, so maybe the winner get a Najee Lopez fight. I don't know. So yeah, I like that card. And then the last card, this is November 29th, from Fresno. We got a good main event: Muhammad Yakoval versus Jesse Madaleno, two southpaws, fights at 130 pounds. This is gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun fight. Um, Carlos Balderas on the card. The co-main event is Badilio versus Soto. Badilio is the WBO mandatory at 108 pounds, and he's putting his position on the line against Soto, who's the former world champion. That's a good fight. And then you got Justin Pardo is back. Justin Pardo, he missed weight in June, had to cancel that June fight on Pro Box. He came back like 2 months later, had an early stoppage victory, and now he's back. And he fights at lightweight. And he's a guy that can make some moves too. So, yeah, bro. I like, man, Pro Box be getting busy. Three cards in a month. Bro, that's like that's like a throwback. They don't do that shit no more. They used to back in the day when these guys had their network deals, but it's all good. It's all good. It's good saying that though. We need an active schedule. Lee Jackson in the building was good. Um, I ain't heard of seeing Money Powell in a minute. He been doing that what's that shit? TCL. He been doing that TCL. But he haven't had a fight officially in like 2 or 3 years. But he been active though. All right, this is Malik Zanad. He's back on November the 30th. He's fighting on the zone, one of these the zone cards. So this to highlight him, if you guys remember, he took the Dimitri Bivol fight on short notice, and he got stopped. That was like the first knockout victory that Bivol had in a long time. But he gave a good effort though. It was a short notice. So I'm highlighting him because at light heavyweight he can be a future opponent for guys like Ben Whitaker, who is trying to make his ascent to the top. Joshua Bawaxi, all these guys at light heavyweight that they have on the come up. He can possibly be like a comeback fight for somebody who loses. Let's say Anthony Yard loses to Benavidez. This would be a solid comeback fight. This guy right here, so he can fight too. He ain't a bad fighter. So he'll be back November 30th. Michael Hunter, he's another one that has a weird ass career. We know he can fight. Olympian only got one loss to Usyk, where he gave Usyk a good fight. That was so far long ago. A lot of people forget that he only got one loss, but he taken a lot of losses in his career as far as like management, promotion. He signed with Don King. He got a fight scheduled December the 5th. And anybody that's with Don King, I don't really, I don't know. I'm not too optimistic that they're going to actually fight. But he had a weird career because Michael Hunter can fight. And we haven't seen him maximize that shit. I don't know what it is. Team trash, I guess. Because him and Huey Fury, they got kind of like a similar career. Been around for a long time, and they really ain't made no headway in the heavyweight division that they could make some headway. You know what I'm saying? So he's fighting December 5th on York Hall, a small show, a small car, small venue. And the BBOC is not even sanctioning this fight. It's another sanction. It's kind of so I relate this to this. You know how like you got different commissions in the United States, Vegas, New York, California, Texas. Those are probably the most well known. But this is like similar to leaving Vegas and go to Mississippi Commission. They probably don't have a lot of fights and stuff like that. So that's what he's not with the BBOC. He's with like a Mississippi commission, if that makes sense. So we'll see. He's number what? He's number 2 in the WBA. He was supposed to fight Pulev. Don King's supposed to put that fight on. Pulev gonna fight somebody else in December. He was supposed to fight Big Baby Miller during fight week of Canelo Crawford. That ain't shit happened. He been mentioned with a lot of big names, but ain't nothing happened. So he gonna fight this kid. I don't, Farrell. I don't know. It's just weird. He got a weird ass career, bro. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, I don't know. Yes, things been real sketchy. He said we're done. He said he can scrap. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't know. You gotta blame him because for you to go sign with Don King, bro, in 2024, look, you signed with Don King after after he lost his network deal with HBO, bro. That's nasty. I don't know what he. I don't know. You gotta blame the fighter on that one. Terramona, this is a big, strong heavyweight from Australia. Big Samoan dude. He's fighting December the 6th on Jay Avataya's undercard against his mandatory Hussein Sankara. So he's on that card. This guy is an Olympian. He can move. He can move. Like I think they can move him faster or put him in with some tougher competition because I think he's like 29, 30. Heavyweights they kind of don't hit that peak until around about 32. Most of them. So I like this dude. He's strong. He got some skills too. So yeah, he's on the card. He's gonna make that card better by adding him. So December the 6th. Let me see what we got. Oh, so this kid right here, Bilal Jutu. I like this dude, yo. He's underrated and nobody know him. He from France. You go look him up if you haven't seen him, if you're interested. But this dude is all action. You know what I'm saying? I had to highlight him because I like his fighting style. He's coming back December the 6th in France, and he's fighting for the silver title at 160. And this kid he's exciting. Jit2, bro, I like him. He's trained with Freddie Roach too. He can fight. He's all action. He just don't get a lot of notoriety. We don't know him like that. What's better, a boxer getting network deal or fighting for a promoter? A network deal. Because if you get a network deal and they say, bro, we're going to give you 3 dates this calendar year. You don't need a promoter. We in the social media age, you can promote your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Go to YouTube, go to all these channels, get them behind, you know what I'm saying? You basically helping each other because you're using their fan base or their supporters. And then because how many times you seen a guy interview on somebody's platform, right? And then next thing you know, everybody in that chat or the host itself is riding for that guy. Like you do an interview with a fighter, bro, you ride for him. He's the best this in the world. I got him over him. That's how shit work. So why not take advantage of that as a fighter? Like market yourself. So if they got network deals and you going straight to the network, bro, all you gotta do as far as promotion is promote yourself. Like Boots, I don't think he capitalized on that. Boots had a network deal with Showtime. He got YSM Media. Bro, I've been going crazy with media. Well, they have. Salute to them because YSM been going crazy. If it wasn't really for YSM, we really want to know a lot of stuff about Boots because he kind of like he keep it close lit. So I would say network deal over promoter. The promoters dime a dozens. As you can see, network deals are not. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. We got the return of Luis Alberto Lopez, former world champion, featherweight IBF champion. This is second fight back after losing to Angelo Leo in a bad knockout where he suffered like a brain injury. But he came back maybe 3 or 4 months ago, got a first round stoppage. Now he's coming back December the 12th. So moving up to 130. Let's see if we make a push at another world title. We have Marco Verde, Team Canelo, be back December 13th in Mexico. He fought on the Canelo Crawford undercard. He had to stop his victory against what's that kid name? Ola Kayla. It was a bad stoppage though, Sona. But he can fight though. He's a Mexican Olympian, southpaw. He was helping Canelo get ready for Crawford as well. Um, we have a card coming up in Lagos, Nigeria, December the 19th. We have they call it chaos in the ring. Lawrence Okoli he's from Nigeria, and you got David Alajay, Nigerian fighters, heavyweights that's with Queensberry. So they're gonna tag team with Amir Khan to put on this card. It's gonna be live on the zone. So it's just these guys going back to their home, their heritage, and having a fight out there. So there ain't nothing to it. Um, yeah, Lawrence Okoli is number one in the WBC. Adelaide is coming off a tough loss where he gained fans losing to Herkovic. He got dropped in that fight, but he put up a great effort when he almost had Herkovic out of there himself. So, it's just I don't expect them to have crazy opponents. They haven't announced the opponents for them yet, but I don't expect nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's up. He said, cool. TD Sports Talk. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through. It was like, oh my God, when he stopped the fight, but at the same time, he wasn't doing anything. Right. Yeah, bro. So yeah, they're doing cards in Africa, yo. Oh, that's what's up. Sandor Martin is back, December the 20th. Ain't nobody talked about Sandor Martin and shit, right? But here you go. He's been out of the radar since losing to our brother Playo earlier this year in the WBC title fight at 140. So he's a good fighter. I'm not sure if he's still signed with Top Rank. I don't think Top Rank had nothing for him. You know what I'm saying? Even if they had a network deal, unless they're going to, I don't know, unless they're going to give him to one of the young guys, and he's not marketable, he can fight. Like these guys been in the game for a long time, and they don't really sell themselves, or I guess they don't care to do it. But if they don't care, fans not gonna care. But he'll be back fighting in Spain. Uh, I'm thinking maybe he can make a push at 147. 147 seems wide open. And he don't have like the best backing. You can see he's not the most active guy, so maybe he can push at 147. We'll see. But yeah, like fighters, we don't hear from them in a long time, and they just pop out the blue. I always seem to find what they doing and shit. Isn't AJ supposed to fight in Africa pretty soon? Yeah, I got something on that. They're talking about February for that. They were supposed to fight him. Oh yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, if he was gonna fight that's I'm thinking that too because I felt like he lost value by giving up his title. That title, that WBC title, probably could have got him, especially if he was going to work with Turkey anyway. Would have probably got unifications and big fights with the champions. But obviously, he didn't want to do that. He wasn't mentally prepared to fight Sandor Martin, and he didn't fight him. It is what it is now. But if he was going, my thing is though, he was going to fight the same way he fought against Jose Ramirez. Then I'm glad we didn't get the Sandor Martin fight because they both kind of got that negative style. You know what I'm saying? That would have been nasty. That would have been even worse because Sandor Martin was just, I don't know who's going to take the lead. I don't know. That would have been crazy. All right, so Jit Cabiel, we got some news on him. Yeah, that's what's up. I see Africa training. Okay, on Instagram. That's what's up, man. They got that big heavyweight had a crazy knockout on the other card. They did have a card in Nigeria October the 1st with Brandon Glenn and Marcus Brown. He played himself dropping that belt. Yeah, I feel like what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah, at the time, yeah, I felt like he could have used that shit and leveraged a lot of shit with that belt. But I don't know. It is what it is. We got Brian Norman coming up. So Jit Cabiel, this been known for a while that he's gonna have a homecoming fight in Germany, January the 10th. He's a WBC interim champion, hot heavyweight right now, dangerous body puncher, body snatcher. This dude. he really don't do nothing so crazy. He's just very consistent to going to the body, and he's tough guy, and I like him. I like Cabiel. So he haven't announced his opponent. They're supposed to announce his fight tonight. Well, today during the broadcast of during the fight tonight we got with Parker and Worley. So we should be getting an announcement from him. I don't know. It's been a lot of names I've been hearing. I heard Nelson Heisa. That's the fighter, undefeated fighter from Albania. Uh, I don't know. Uh, we are speculating that it could be Deontay Wilder because he said he's going to be 2-time in January. And when you say that to me, I ain't talking about 2-time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't thinking about Bridgerweight. You know what I'm saying? And I know the heavyweight division has some interim champions, or regular champions. It's not Pulev fighting in December. So I just did my process of elimination. It's not Parker or Worley. They fighting each other tonight. Those are secondary champions. The only one is Cabiel, and Cabiel been had this date penciled in January for the longest time. So I'm like, is it Cabiel? You know what I'm saying? But then I'm not so sure because he said, so I'm just listening to what he said, taking contents from what he said. Deontay said in that interview with that Neon guy, I already signed the fight to become 2-time world champion for January. As of Wednesday, I tapped in with Cabiel's team 2 weeks ago when I seen that interview with Deontay. And I asked them straight up. They said, nah. They said they getting sparring partners, but they're not getting sparring partners to mimic Deontay Wilder. So that tells you everything. But time can change, though. I'm saying if you're trying to build German boxing back up, the biggest name to have over there is Deontay Wilder. Now, whether he win that fight or not, that's another story. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it don't look good because Deontay is faded. You know what I'm saying? He lost his hunger. And, based on his last fight, I would think Cavier would probably get him. But we'll have to see. He got that power. We never know. But that's one name. And then there's others. You look at the WBC rankings. FL Jabba turned down the IBF. Is he in the mix? Guido Vanello, he came into the new he came into the new WBC rankings. Guido, who just had a win on Matchroom, he just came in like number 12. Is he an option? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see later on today who they pick for Ajit Cabiel, which I think behind Parker, he deserves to fight Usyk as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, yeah. The winner between Parker and Worley get Usyk next, and then Cabiel, if he wins his fight, he should be right after that. Cabiel is like that. So I like Cabiel. Yeah, he's a fun fighter. Man, he be beating up those dudes' bodies. He's based in Germany. Yeah, he based in Germany. They saying he's a big draw out there. I got people hitting me up saying, "Yo, no, they fucking with Ajit Cabiel out there." They said, "Yeah, I remember that clip." So yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, is he just talking? Because look, salute to Deontay. He one of my favorites, but he don't know much about boxing. He don't follow boxing like that. So if he's saying he signed for 2-time, which one though? Which 2-time he signed for? Because let me know. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know so we can tap in. If Wilder fights Caviar, damn, that's a harder fight than Zane Parker, man. Let's see. If you want it, let's get it. All right, so we got news about this purse bid right here. Raymore Tyler, IBF champion, versus and his mandatory Andy Cruz. This went the purse bid over the week, and Matchroom won the purse bid like 88. It was 888K. They beat Top Rate, who was second place, with like 572K. So Matchroom, who don't really be winning purse bids like that, they won one this time. And the reason why is because Tyrann don't got no deal. So I was wondering where if Tyrann would have won this shit, where they gonna put the fight. And Tyrann, they bid on the value of the fight. So they must don't think this is a big time value fight. So obviously Eddie overdid it because neither of these guys are big draws or nothing like that. I don't even think they even headline. Maybe if they did, it was on some small cards or something like that. Well, I know Andy has a headline. They're not big. They're not big names and stuff, but it's a good fight though. I think it's actually is a. I think it's gonna be more entertaining than what people think. They do have styles like they kind of counter punches and stuff like that. But this is where I turn the corner and I would push back. Andy Cruz is with Bozy. Bozy is an offensive fighter. He want Andy Cruz to fight, be technical and all that defensively, but he want him to fight. So if he's sitting there and fighting with Mortala, who is a bigger puncher and is a good counter puncher and can punch with both hands, he got thudding power. I don't think he got one punch knockout, but he got thudding power. They break you down power. So if Andy Cruz want to be offensive, he's facing a younger guy. This is a big step up for Andy Cruz. You know what I'm saying? His career, his 5-6 fights he been fighting all essays, and he fought that Japanese fighter that can't move his head. He went crazy on him. This is a little different. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I favor Mortala in this fight, to be honest. Here's another nugget. Every time that I remember the top ranked fighters go to the zone and fight a matchroom fighter, they go crazy. Y'all remember Jose Ramirez and Mo Hooker? I mean, damn, that should look scary the way he stopped Mo Hooker. Y'all just remember, look, we got recent history. Guido Vanello, he just went over there and stopped the matchroom prospect, Alex Barrera. So, hey, maybe it's something in the water with top-ranked fighters sending their guys over there. Now, I know matchroom sent their fighter over to top rank. Ray Ford captured the world title, last-second knockout. That went crazy. But they sent Sandy Ryan over there against Mayer, and she lost twice. The first fight was very controversial. Probably could have been a draw. But the second fight, Sandy got washed. So, let's see. They also brought when they sent Callum Smith over the top rank to fight Viterbi. Viterbi stopped him. The only one to stop him and drop him. So, and this matchup with the promotion companies, top rank normally comes out on top. So, it's a little nugget. But I love the coaches in this. We got Robert Garcia with Ray Mortala, and we got Bozy Ennis with Andy Cruz. So that's a great matchup. Somebody said, I think somebody in the chat said this was Boots and Ortiz Jr. Like this is like the baby fight for that fight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll see. So the purse split is 65% for the champion, and that's what about 500. I think it was a little over 500. And then Andy Cruz both making their career high, 500 and 300K. So that's good stuff. You know what I'm saying? A good fight. I'm looking forward to that shit too. What's the split? Oh, my bad. 65. I'm sorry about that. 65-35. My bust. So the IBF is 65-35. The WBC is 75-25. The WA 75-25. The WBO do theirs a little different. Theirs is based on the value of the fight. So for example, they'll normally do 70-30, but they try to do that with Crawford and Porter. But Porter was like, nah, bro, I bring a little bit more to the table. So they changed it to 60-40 for Crawford. They also changed it for Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. I think it was like they pushed that shit to like 53-47 for Shakur favor, because Shakur had the value in that fight. So the WO would kind of work with the promoters and the fighters who making bigger bag to change the purse bid. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Andy's coming. Let's get it. I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to get out of the shadow of Keyshawn Davis for sure, because his career been built and predicated on Keyshawn Davis first, and then second, linked up with Jerron Ennis and Bozy. So those are two, because we don't talk about Andy Cruz. It's a regular conversation. Nobody doing an hour live talking about Andy Cruz, but you do one when it's tied into Keyshawn. If Keyshawn got a fight week, here go Andy Cruz. Keyshawn destroyed his city in June, Andy Cruz act like he had something to do with it. People saying he destroyed his city because he's nervous about Andy Cruz. He didn't want to fight Andy Cruz. So it's crazy. And those guys never been at the table. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny. Now he can separate himself and get out that limelight and become a world champion, which he has a great opportunity to do. He said, cool. He said, have a great day, everybody. I appreciate that, bro. Yes, sir. All right. William Skull is back, coming off that trash performance. I ain't gonna say the performance was trash, but the fight was trash against Canelo. That shit was boring, yo. Like word up. But he's back against Jacob Bank. This is at super middleweight, January the 31st. So this is actually a solid comeback fight. You know, this is a fight where actually Jacob Bank can win. He's coming off a good win against Tyrone Zorge. He stopped him. So this is actually a good fight. Super middleweight. These are French contenders. They got world rankings at super middleweight, but you know, as we've seen, when William Skull step up, I don't know. But that performance he did, he would have beat everybody else. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody else, but he'll beat most guys with that performance and what he did against Canelo. But they weren't gonna give him that shit, knowing that they had the Crawford fight already signed. They weren't gonna do that. He didn't do enough against Canelo. You didn't think so? I thought he boxed well. His defense was on point, you know. But I'm with you though. I'm with you. I felt like he could have stepped it up more too. To be honest, he could have fought with Canelo. All right, so that's January 31st. Also, let me go back. January 31st is the pencil in date for this fight right here. So, and I failed to mention this, so I had to go back. Now, it haven't been announced where these guys are going to fight at, right? I'm gonna just throw mine out there. I say since Matchroom won the purse bid, they got to go Orlando or Miami. I mean, Andy Cruz is not a big. He's not a big draw. You know what I'm saying? He don't have like a crazy fan base. So it's like, well, you can't go to Cali because of Southern California because that's where Raymond Tyler from, and he's with Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia got a lot of fans, so their fans, the essays support boxing just as much as any fan base. So if they put this fight in Southern California, then that's a pro Muay Thai crowd. But if you take it to Orlando, where nobody really know Muay Thai, but you'll have the Cubans out there, whatever, Miami or Orlando. I think that's where they need to put that fight at. If they do it in Orlando, they have Amari Jones, who is from Orlando, who is fighting November the 1st. They can throw him on that card, put some Puerto Ricans on there. Yeah, because this have to benefit Andy Cruz. Now, Philly, maybe Philly, but will Philly be a big draw? They gonna have to. What arena can they do in Philly? I don't know. I think Orlando or Miami is a place for this fight. They can do it at the Hard Rock in Miami. I think that'd be a solid venue for this fight because it's not like a big fight, but this will be a headliner. This not gonna be on nobody's undercard. Just a quick rule of thumb: when you guys see these purse bids like over 500K, 800K, whatever, those fights is gonna be headliners. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that you get a purse bid of 800K plus that's be on the co-main, unless it's a solid card. But normally, if a promotion company wins a purse bid, then they're gonna put the fight on. You know what I'm saying? They invested in that fight, so they got to make their money up. I don't know where they're gonna make it up at, for real. But that's just the business part of it. The fight part, I think it's a good fight. All right, this is Eye of the Tiger, right? Eye of the Tiger they have their fight dates already lined up for 2026, which is dope. I always ask for promoters to do this. This is a promotion company out of Canada. They got 5 dates already: February the 5th, April 9th, June 4th, September 3rd, November 12th. That's dope, bro. That's all I asked for. Like, I feel like PBC is inconsistent. Top rank been inconsistent ever since July. Uh, Matchroom, Queensberry, Golden Boy, they they're not the most consistent, but they consistent enough, and they be having good cars too. So I like this though. You don't have to give me a car every month. I'm okay with that. At least I like this though. I don't know. I like this. So they have guys like Christian and Billy. They have Iglesias. They got the Christopher Guerrero kid, who's an upcoming guy. Wilkins Matthew. They got Mary Spencer, Fondero. They got John Arobio. They got a lot of good fighters, bro. Arslan Beck. So that's good though that they got a schedule and keep these guys active. That's what's up. All right, news on Adam Azim. So I don't know if you guys heard this. Salute to everybody in the building. I appreciate it. But Adam Azim supposed to fight November the 15th on the Eubank and Ben 2 undercard. He lost his original opponent Zor Adalev. Word on the curve, Kurt Scoby is going to take that opportunity. They already contacted him, and let's see if he accepted. But Adam Azam versus Kurt Scoby. I was in a couple of guys' chat yesterday asking them what they think about the fight. You know what I'm saying? When I do that, I pretty much got something coming for you. So that's a random ass fight just to ask somebody, right? So pretty much I'm just warming you up because you heard it from me first, or you heard it. You know what I'm saying? Then when the fight get announced, you be like, damn, somebody said that, didn't it? I got you covered. But just to look at that fight though, it's interesting because Amazim is an up and coming guy that they're trying to transform into a big star. He got the qualities the way he fight. He got fast hands. He got good pop. He been inactive, a little bit too inactive for me, but he got that star quality. Also American type shit. Let's see if he can take a punch. Um, Her Scooby, he been active. I don't know how many fights he had this year, 3 or 4, and he's always in dog ass shape. And he getting this opportunity based on what he did in that sparring event when he knocked out his opponent in front of Turkey. And he's supposed to fight that fight week of Canelo and Crawford, but shit fell through. So maybe they like, listen, you want an opportunity? You got to take this fight or what, 2-3 weeks notice? You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I want to see. I know he been contacted and he been sent the contract. Has he accepted it? We're going to find out because Amazon is still gonna fight on that card, and if the fight is done, they gotta announce it. You know what I'm saying? So not a bad fight. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Kurt Scooby is in a position where he can't turn this down. He can't turn it down. Like when I hear guys call out the top elite fighters and they turn down a guy that's not elite, that says something to me. That's why I say ain't no boogeyman in boxing because for me a boogeyman ain't turning down shit, and they ain't putting no obstacles in the way where you can say, well, it's a rehydration clause or whatever. They ain't putting no obstacles in the way. They clearing those. So let's see. That's an interesting fight, bro. And I'm not gonna say Kurt Scooby don't have an opportunity because he athletic. This guy Adam Azam pulls straight back with his hands down, and Scooby he's strong enough, athletic enough to get close to him, and he got a good trainer, Hector Bermudez. So real interesting shit though if they make it. The Tiger used to be on ESPN Plus with Top Rank. Yeah. That would hurt because when they lost that deal, we lost those fights with them. You know what I'm saying? That was part of the deal. All right, December 13th, we got the trilogy. They're trying to do this trilogy, and they're probably going to announce it tonight. Derek Chisora versus Dylan White. I mean, I guess. And they're trying to put it on pay-per-view, too. That's nasty. But yeah, it looks like this fight is done. It's going to be the headliner. Moses Atama looked like he's not going to be on that card because he's in a situation with the WBA where they ordered him to fight Pulev, but Pulev took another fight. So they're trying to either get Pulev stripped or get some type of other fight for him. So Moses might not be on this card as originally planned. But yeah, what my man said, this is the weakest trilogy ever. I mean, it don't mean nothing. The fights have been good though. The 2 fights have been good. If you base it off of what's in the ring, I don't know. I don't know if I agree if it's weak what happened in the ring because the first fight was a classic. Second fight was fun, and then it was a highlight reel knockout. But as far as like what it meant, what it means, I'm with it's weak because it don't mean nothing. There's two old heads fighting. If this they gonna fight, this should be both of these guys farewell fight. It said especially the first one. Yeah, the first one was banging. I thought Shazor won the first one. He said, not excited. I'm not excited. No, I'm not either, really. Nah, because it is nothing important. This, I guess, if it's they building this as a celebration and a farewell, I guess we can get behind it because it's like nostalgic, but it don't really mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. So it's the 50th fight for Derek Chisora. He trying to go out with a win. Yeah, nah, nobody. No, I'm with that too, bro. Nobody trying to see that. You know what I'm saying? But I guess UK fans gonna eat this shit up. We gonna see, and it's on pay per view too, so that's a bummer. Let's see who they put on that card. Denzel Bentley, he's in negotiations for the WBO against Severia. Maybe they win that purse bid next week. Yalir Herrera, he supposed to do a WBC eliminator for Shakur against Ricardo Nunes on this card. Hopefully, let's see. Liam Davies, they got a lot of fighters on Queensbury they can put on this card, but let's see. Matchroom, they rocking with this kid right here, Giorgio Vizioli. He got a fight date coming up. I think it's December 17th. He's going to headline Next Gen show. That's like a prospect show. He just fought on Bruce Ennis undercard on the prelims. He beat the tough, rugged James Wilkins. That was a good fight. He won all 8 rounds too. So Matchroom trying to build on this kid. I think he's an 8-0, 9-0. They're trying to build on him and giving him his first headline. So he'll be back before the end of the year. Speaking of Africa, Matchroom is doing a show December the 20th in Ghana. We have at the top Craig Richards versus Dan Aziz. This is actually a pretty good fight, though, to be honest. Light heavyweights. So yeah, Dan Aziz just fought in Nigeria October the 1st. He was on that Brandon Glenn card. I haven't seen Craig Richards in a while. Interesting style matchup. Craig Richards is a tall, rangy fighter. He can fight and box. He kind of just, I don't know. He's not as assertive as I like him to be. But Dan Aziz is a pressure fighter. He is very assertive. Let's see. That's a nice little style clash. And the winner can be in position to get a big fight at light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So light heavyweight is looking strong now too. So yeah. So this is December the 20th. AJ supposed to fight in Africa as well in February. So he's preparing to come back. He's been out the ring for a long time since losing to Dubois September of last year. We ain't seen AJ. I know he had elbow surgery, you know what I'm saying, that kept him sidelined. So trying to make one last push and some big fights. You know, he's still a big name. I don't expect this opponent in February to be so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just to get back in the winning circle. Let's see. He's trying to get a Tyson Fury fight. We know Tyson Fury retire and unretire every other week. Um, I guess I don't know if it's still a demand for the Wilder fight. I feel like that fight expiration date done passed. You know what I'm saying? They should do that shit in 2020. 2018 was the time to do Wilder and AJ when they were both champions at the top. So we'll see. Making one last push for AJ. UK fans love Shazor. That's what I'm saying, bro. They're gonna eat that shit up. He has a great for real. And they fuck with him. Like imagine we did that for our fighters, like fuck with them to the like no matter what. JC in the building. What's good with you, bro? I bet Shazor not retiring. You think so? Okay. He said that's it for him. JC, my guy, salute to you. I still want to see Wilder AJ. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but that shit, the expiration date, I don't know. All right, here's my last two. So I spoke on this earlier, but I didn't really get into in depth. I know this has been like the big thing going around. Shakur going to Puerto Rico to help Jake get ready for the Tank Davis exhibition. To me, I mean, look, I always speak frank about shit because a lot of stuff I feel like really don't mean nothing, don't mean much. depending on the person. To me, I'm taking this fight as a exhibition. It don't count. The rules are so uneven. One guy gonna weigh 195, the other guy gonna be like 40, 50 pounds lighter. People think that Tank is gonna put on weight to get to 195. Niggas sound crazy. Tank probably come in at about 150, 147. That's the weight he's probably at before he have to cut weight to get to 135. And he might be less than that because Tank be coming in like 133. That's besides the point. Tank ain't bulking up to get to 195. I'm just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur and Tank, we know they ain't fucking with each other. So this is what I expect. You know what I'm saying? I expect that for people that on one side or the other, you're not gonna like Shakur. You're not gonna ever like him. You know what I'm saying? You don't care when he fight. You don't care. You don't fuck with him. Anything to diminish him, you're gonna diminish him, and vice versa. You're gonna diminish Tank. But the discrepancy in this is that I really don't rock with is Shakur said he don't want no questions about Tank. But when you go to Puerto Rico to spar the guy that's about to fight, exhibition Tank, you're gonna get those questions. So I feel like that was, what I'm saying, whatever. Do I take heed from it? No, because they don't fuck with each other. And this is the closest to a Tank Davis fight that Shakur gonna get. So this is what it is. It don't mean nothing, to be honest. What would he learn? I don't know if he gonna learn anything in the boxing ring. Maybe he'll learn and realize that Jake may be better than what he expected. It's more so a promotional thing. You got Ray Ford out there too, and Montana Love. For me, it's like a promotional thing. It's like Jake hired all these guys to build his brand. He hired Tank to get in the ring because he's trying to get clout off him, the same one, but he's paying him for his. See, this is the thing. Jake is taking this shit seriously. I don't know how serious Tank taking it, but Jake is definitely taking it serious because people say, well, Shakur and Ray Ford don't fight like Tank, but shit, if you were sparring a southpaw in real life or in a real fight, and you had an opportunity to have Ray Ford and Shakur Stevenson in your camp, and you want to take it, bro, it's a bunch of sparring that don't match the opponent. Michael Fox is 6'4", 6'5". Every time Fundora fight somebody, the opponent bring him into camp. He ain't fighting like Fundora, but Mike Fox still getting calls because he's 6'5" and southpaw. So that shit right there is you can throw that argument away. This is more so about Jake building up promotion. Look, we bringing your ops in here. They giving me all the secrets about you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you taking this fight seriously or not, whatever. But Shakur always been kind of sketchy like this. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. He can fight his ass off, but he always have some type of discrepancy with these fighters. Something going on, whatever. So it ain't surprising me. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't taking it so seriously because I'm not, riding with either one. I'm just saying. It's just promotion. It's nothing crazy. So, I mean, the shit didn't work. Look, Boots did the same thing. Boots left his comfortable situation in Bosey's dungeon. He didn't even take Bosey with him and went to Lake Tahoe in altitude. Never trained in altitude to spar Canelo to get him ready for Crawford, right? He look. This is the same thing. It happens all the time. People act like this is something new. This has been happening in boxing for years, bro. For years. Did Shane Mosley come to camp for Oscar De La Hoya to get him ready for to get him ready for Floyd? You know what I'm saying? These guys do this shit, bro. This is what they look. I don't fuck with you. Let's tag team and let's try to beat them. Or let's try to get. In this case, let's give Jake all the tools to possibly embarrass Tank. Because all he gotta do is hit Tank with a right hand and let Tank legs buckle, and he won. He won right there. That clip gonna go crazy. So it is what it is. Why do we expect any good from our ops? You know what I'm saying? Those guys don't fuck with each other. So why would I expect anything good? Come on, man. This is we look, call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? And this is my expectation of a guy that don't fuck with this guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with you, bro. I'm not, man. What? Yeah, we going against you for sure. So it is what it is. It's no big deal, real talk. But as far as being on code, when has Shakur been that guy to look to on code? You know what I'm saying? When he speaks some real shit that we as a people ride for, or even Tank. When Tank came out to say something that we like, yo, let's get behind him because he for the people. Man, hell no, he be like, he don't even fuck with his fans. So now people got look. We respect these fighters to stay on code with guys that they don't fuck with. This sparring shit, all this sparring shit, this a new day and age. I think it started with Devin Haney though. Devin Haney perpetrated this shit as sparring as something big because that's what he based his career. He was posting a lot of sparring on his YouTube channel. I sparred this guy, I sparred that guy, I got whatever, whatever. And we know the infinite sparring that he had with Tank and Shakur. So it breeds guys to talk about sparring more. Like people is getting mad at his sparring partner for saying he think Norman gonna win. You know what I'm saying? All this is just weird, but they forget that Devin started that. So you gotta expect, you know what I'm saying? You gotta expect that shit to happen. But this is nothing. It's weird shit. I look at it like this too. Maybe this is an opportunity for Shakur to basically be on audition because he a promotional free agent, ain't it? Jake is one of the best promoters in boxing right now, ain't it? You think it'll make sense for him to link up? Because they said Shakur don't sell, he don't do this and do that. He can't market himself without Tank, whatever. Jake proved that he can get big fights. He got the Tank fight. He trying to fight AJ next year after this. Maybe that's a move too. I like to throw a little spin to it, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this shit don't mean nothing. Because, I mean, Boots went down there, and it actually was a detriment. You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo didn't look, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching the fight against Crawford. I'm like, I know Boots was getting off on him. So it is what it is, though. Interesting stuff to talk about, but it ain't that serious, though. He not on code. He's hating himself, all type. But that shit ain't that serious. What do you think about Shakur Plan B if T.O. don't come through? I think he has to look at a unification. Maybe the winner between Andy Cruz and Mortala. That may put him out of the ring for a little while. But I think he'll have to look at that. I think that would be the one. He may have a mandatory in that time. Like I mentioned, Yalier Herrera and Nunez are fighting the final eliminator. So that would be cool. Let me see. Is there any possibilities at 140? Possibly. Maybe he get the winner between Matisse and Dalton Smith. Something like that. But yeah, for him with Tio, I'm like, bro, Tio ain't been on the up and up with fights for a long time. So I mean, for him if he put all his eggs in one basket with Tio, he wildin' because Tio ain't never been on the up and up like that. Ever since Loma, he ain't been on the up and up. He said, not at all. Yeah, bro, that shit is weird. Man, I don't know. I can't go hard for somebody that don't go hard for me. Tank don't look. Everybody going hard for Tank. He don't give a fuck about y'all. He got motherfuckers look crazy in these streets. You know what I'm saying? He don't even care. He don't care about that shit. He getting his bag. He look happy in the promos. But if Jake is hired for Ray Ford and Shakur, he hired Tank too. All of them get some bread. You know what I'm saying? Um, Jake reached out to them to pay them to come down there. They don't fuck with the dude. That's extra motivation. Hell yeah, they gonna go. I think Shakur and Tio would happen, and that fight should. Yeah. It would make him, and Tio too. If Tio can win, hopefully it happens. I'm thinking that's gonna go on the Riyadh season card in February. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know because January. I don't know if January gonna be the play. He should fight someone in the top 10 early January. His hands ain't set up to do that though. You know what I'm saying? it makes sense in theory, but for his hands, it don't make sense. All depends on Tio actually telling the truth about not fighting happening in January. Hope so. I'm there. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Let's see. If Tio doesn't happen, might as well knock off. Yeah, I mean, I'm with that, but yeah, I don't know. The time frame gonna be awkward because if his mandatory or one or two is Andy Cruz going the IBF route, and the other guy Herrera is fighting the eliminator. And I don't know if he's just gonna take any old fight. Tio told us that almost done deal, but how much is worth what Tio was saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, I feel like look, they got two power teams behind them. So those fights are not as easy to be made because he just linked up with Keith Conley, Tio. And we know Shakur has Jay Prince. Those negotiations probably going to, run us all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Probably take a little longer because of that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I saw some of that, bro. Yeah, salute to you, bro. TD Sports Talk. He had a good interview with Teofimo Lopez. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate the content. I'm surprised y'all here Herrera's not fighting. Yeah, bro. I was hoping he was gonna get on this card, but look out for December 13th. So yeah, bro, that shit funny, yo. I'm gonna be riding bro. Don't say shit about Tank, bro. They be coming for your ass. Look at the Carissa shits. They went crazy. But it's all fun though. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. All right, last one. Jerron Boots Ennis is hot right now. And the talk this week is about him and Crawford. So I want to see that fight, bro. I always want to see that. I think when I was on here, I've been on YouTube for a minute, and I remember around the time where he fought on Carissa's undercard. I was telling people I'd rather see Crawford and Boots now. He was getting some world rankings at the time, but he wasn't quite there as a top contender, but he was coming, and we saw that. And my thought process at the time was, Bud, he can't break that PBC wall down to get those fighters at the time. And this was 2019, top of 2020. I'm thinking, bro, you might as well fight the next available guy. And the next available guy is this guy right here. And he been that guy for a long time. Because I think Boots fought on Carissa's card in October, but she didn't fight that night because her brother did that shit to the coach. And when Boots was the headliner, he was a co-man, but he got moved up to the main event. And I think like a month later, Crawford fought Mean Machine. And he couldn't, what I'm saying, at the time, like it was still that back and forth, with him kind of being shut out from PBC fighters. So my thing was fight Boots. So that been on my mind for the longest time. Some people like, he won't ready. You try to get Boots beat, blah blah blah. I'm like, nah, that's the guy, the best guy available in my opinion. But this shit ain't happen, whatever. But now these guys is on totally different paths. I think this fight has definitely passed. This don't got no expiration date. I don't think it's gonna happen. They two different parts of their career. Um, we know that shit at 47. They was talking they could have fought, whatever. But right now, it's just I don't know. I don't think like I'm hearing that Crawford should send a contract. He should fight this guy. Blah blah blah. To me, Crawford ain't really sending contracts. I think his shit is more so he know he working with Turkey, right? So I feel like the question that I have with that is, has Boots gained his trust back with Turkey or gained any trust with Turkey? Because he turned down two big contracts to fight Virgil Ortiz. So before he sent him something for Crawford, like how you want to get that trust back? And I don't know if anybody can answer that question because we don't know. So do he have to do Boots have to kind of switch up his thought process with working with Turkey? Because on the outside looking in, it seems like he don't want to really fuck with him unless it's over here, which I do understand. You know what I'm saying? because they asked him about going to Saudi. He was like, nah, I don't want to fight in America. So I get that part. So I don't feel like Crawford don't have to go and say make this fight right now because that shit ain't all that big to be making. Who you know what I'm saying? Y'all say make these fights, but is it really that big? I think the whole thing about this is people want to see Crawford lose. That's all it is. We do that shit in boxing, and we don't fuck with you. We'll be like if you win and we going against you, we'll be like, man, move up 3 divisions and fight Janabek. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do. Yo, he should fight him. I did that shit before too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really like his fighting style. Hey, yo, go fight this guy, right? You know what I'm saying? Knowing that that's a tough ass fight. But I just feel like this fight in past is just water under the bridge. Now, I listened to what Eddie said in that locker room on how their plan to try to get the Crawford fight. He's saying they have to appeal. He basically saying they have to appeal to Turkey. So they have to go work on some more stuff, then come back to the table. So that means basically clean out 154, then go to 160. Man, by the time we do all that, I think Crawford be gone. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just feel like those guys got 2 separate careers. It didn't their careers haven't crossed paths for them to fight. And that's okay, bro. Boots got some stuff to do for his own thing. You know what I'm saying? 154, he trying to get his credibility back. They are saving face, saying that we already signed our part for Virgil. You know what I'm saying? But the first 2 times they, you know what I'm saying, they didn't want to complete that, and make that fight. So now they saving face saying we already signed. So it kind of put the onus on Virgil. Virgil now he got a little bit of pressure, a little bit because Lubin is already a tough fight, but now the story of fight week gonna be Boots, Boots, Boots. Especially if Boots come to Dallas, DFW. You know what I'm saying? If he come down there, come to the fight, we're gonna see he gonna get a lot of questions, and it's always tricky when these guys say they signed a deal already, but there's always some context that they're leaving out. Like I listened to Eric Gomez, that's the president of Golden Boy. He said yes, talks did happen, and we agreed on a deal, but they agreed on a deal for October. You know what I'm saying? Not for next. Then they didn't agree on the deal. They agreed on a deal in principle for a fight to happen this year, not for next year. So that means after Virgil fight, they got to go back into negotiations and say, okay, you know, let's solidify some things. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, Turkey not putting on the fight that they agreed to. This is something that, because Turkey want to do this shit in Saudi. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to make this fight with the zone with Matchroom and Golden Boy. So they're gonna have to after November the 8th, they gotta go back to the negotiating table. So that shit's always weird when both guys ain't officially signed because Virtual Team is saying something else. And when I heard that Eddie was in the room with Oscar and Eric Gomez, that's good. That's good. That's a good start. But the manager of Virgil wasn't in there. Now I'm like, okay, is a deal really in place? Because that guy, he make a lot of decisions for Virgil's career. Rick Merringer, yeah, he make a lot of decisions. So it's interesting. My thing is still though, if Virgil is a target, you got to pull up to Dallas, bro. You got to pull up. You got to create that wave of fans to say to get back on your side. Because right now, Boots. See, Boots ain't never really been the bad guy either. He go to Dallas and go to the fight, they gonna boo him. But that's good though. When you hear boos, that's dollar signs. You know what I'm saying? Boo's been that nice guy, athletic, not want to talk so much. You know what I'm saying? Got the Undertaker theme and shit. He chilling. He ain't really trying to cause no ruckus. He behind the scenes. But when you go to these fights, got the camera in your face, got the microphone in your face. Now he gonna have to talk his shit to sell the fight if that's the fight he want. And then when they announce him in the arena and they booing him, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't take that as no disrespect though. I would take that as that's dollar signs. So let's see though. But I think the Crawford and Boots shit is dead, yo. Motherfuckers is hyped about that. They want to see Boots lose. I mean, Bud lose. That's all. They want to see him lose. He said, I just could ask, man. No, you did perfect because that interview and shit is not like the easiest thing to do because that's why I don't do it. I'll be honest. I got 2 interviews on my channel and those shits is trash. I got Bobby McRoy and I got Cena Abeku. And I can do interviews because I know a lot of information, but for me, I don't like that shit because you do have to tightrope. Ain't nobody giving these hard pressing questions, bro. That shit is weird. You gonna interview Tio, man? Ask about his baby mama. Ask about, bro. That's weird. Like if if the people try to pressure you to ask about the racist shit, because at the end of the day, bro, you basically bring to get him on the show is dope in itself. Whether you agree or rock with Tio or not, that's one thing. So to like press the guy that you really don't know like that just to get some clickbait is nasty work though to me. And people that say do that ain't doing that on their channels. They kissing ass and going all the way around the circle and hey man, back when you was 5 years old, man, tell me that they they ain't doing that. Even the ones that say press the issue don't press the issues in their interviews. So, bro, you did your thing, bro. Man, you don't gotta ask tougher questions. Whatever comes to your mind, you and your co-host mind to get the story out there, bro. Just keep doing your thing, bro. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? Because even in the interview, if you have something you want to ask them, you might forget it because you all might be in the flow of the conversation. Y'all might be talking about some other shit, and then hearing him say something would spark another question. You know what I'm saying? So your original question you might forget. So it's all good, bro. I didn't believe him when he said it. He said me either. Yes, sir. So yeah, bro. No, man. These dudes be doing the same thing. Creole the Traveler in the building. Salute. The timing wasn't right for to fight Virgil. Turkey gets insulted if you don't. I mean, I'm getting. Like I said, I never called Boots no duck. I just said Boots and his team not on the same page because Mr. Boziana said, "Bro, we ready to go to 54 right now. We sent Virgil a contract. This was last year, but then when y'all get the contract, y'all say no. That's a conflict. Um, Eddie say one thing, then Boots say one thing. They weren't on the same page. So I get it. He wanted to unify the division. He wanted one fight to acclimate. That's fine. But fans don't want to see them on acclimation fights. He said October. Yeah, bro. Yeah, October, November. They was talking about fighting. That's what Eric Gomez said. Boots agreed to. You know what I'm saying? So this is not. They're not gonna fight October, November. So they got to restructure negotiate the deal. Um, yeah, but Boots ain't gonna fight in no Dallas. They ain't gonna give up that home court. But yeah, it would probably would be. You know what I'm saying? Thomas Hill, what's good with you, bro? Salute. Said true. Yeah, that's nasty work. He said, yeah, and it was not my show. T.O. came for the. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. People think you supposed to just jump on the microphone. No, I got a question. No, bro, you just falling in with it. So yeah, bro, you good. Look, let those guys get to see. This is what I'm saying. The people who saying or who said that you need to ask tougher questions or go hard or whatever, they can't get the interview with Teofimo to do that. So they want to push it for you to do it. And they probably not even looking to do an interview with him because of his antics. So, bro, man, you good, yo. I ain't trip off that. You know what I'm saying? Because most people didn't even know you did the interview. So they can't even give no critique. The idea for the interview is to build trust and open line communication. That's what I'm saying, bro. What's the point of doing that? You can if you want to destroy that, you don't need them to come on your show. You can just kill them by yourself and just come on the show. That's what they do anyway. Like like let's say people don't fuck with Tank, right? All right. none of those people that don't fuck with Tank want to do an interview with him. They just want to bash him. If Tank came to Tank came to a platform that don't fuck with him, their whole energy would change. They'd be like, "Oh man, thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate." And vice versa. If Shakur came to one of these channels that hate him, man, their whole shit gonna change. They're gonna they gonna still you probably do their thing, but it's not gonna be how they talking without him there. That's just how it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, it's a tag team shit type. I just feel like you can't do these interviews and critique the guy so crazy because I feel like if you don't got no relationship with the person and you do that, that shit look crazy, bro. That look like you clout chasing for real. And you'll probably never get another interview because they talk. These fighters talk, and if they see that interview and see how you was carrying it with him, then you reach out, hey man, you want to do an interview? They were like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? So and it's professional too at the end of the day because these guys, you only know them for them making big money from boxing. So that's you can't go in there and go crazy on them. You're a fan. It's a difference between being a fan and like a content creator that's getting tapped in with these boxers. You got to have some type of professionalism. You know what I'm saying? So like when you go to these fights and get credentials, you don't go in there like as a fan yelling and screaming and hollering. Sometimes you do because it's like the action may get to you like oh well shit. But sometimes, and for the most part, you as there as a professional because they give you an opportunity to cover the fight and you get like a free ticket and all that good shit. So you ain't in there going crazy, rude, going or whatever. So it's like a different mode. If you take that same approach when you're interviewing these guys on your platform, you can't just go right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fighters, yo, this is my experience. You talk to them behind the scenes, they'll tell you, hey, bro, don't ask about this, or I don't want to talk about this. And you have to, and that's, I think that's something should be talked about right then and there because if I want to talk about a touchy topic or just bring light to it so the fans can understand it, and he don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Then that can kind of you can kind of switch the way you want to interview that person, right? But for me, I'd be leaving personals out there. You know what I'm saying? I would never have like an interest in interview Tiafimo because I don't fuck with how he been moving as far as like the racist shit. So me interviewing him wouldn't be I wouldn't have no interest in it. But I get you though. But yeah, it's all good though. Everybody got their opinion on shit, but you know a lot of those opinions ain't there before you do it. So you have to do trial and error, and whatever happens, it happens. So that's why I don't ever like feel no type of way if I jump off the window and do something. If people care about it or not, I don't care because you wasn't there to say. And you like you know what I'm saying. People know it is a lot of on YouTube boxing and shit. It's not a lot of people that's going to school you, right? Or give you the knowledge so you can move on. Like people that do interviews that's been doing it for years, they don't do a live and say, all right, bro, I want all my content creators to do interviews. Come on through. You know what I'm saying? Come on through and I'm going to, give you guys a rundown on how to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not workshops to help content creators get more better. These guys with these big channels, I mean, they giving you knowledge of talking boxing, but ain't nobody really breaking it down. Like, ain't nobody breaking it all the way down to help out everybody else. They just say, man, talk about what I talk about. It's going to hit. If I'm talking about Deontay Wilder, bro, talk about Deontay Wilder. Yo, let's go crazy. So you just going to talk about Deontay Wilder. Oh, yeah, on today's show, let's just repeat everything this guy said about Deontay and I'm gonna put it in mine. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. But my thing is, I feel like I do that in instance on my channel where I break down certain situations in boxing that you may not understand. and I take my time with it. Like the IBF, you go to the rankings, you see number 1 and number 2 vacant. Everybody asks, yo, why the top spots are vacant? Why they do that? Then I explain to them, listen, before you get those spots, you have to win a number 1 final eliminator, and then you can win a number 2 final eliminator. And that's how they rank. That's how you know who is the mandatory. So if you didn't win no eliminator, you're not a mandatory. So a lot of people don't know that. But it depends. Like it's not a lot of um, building in this motherfucker. It's building, but it's not. Like if you, because people, if you're not, this shit is divided. If you're on a different, so like for the most part, people don't like. Okay, Tank. Let's say you're a Tank channel, or you ride with Tank Heavy, so you don't fuck with Devin Haney, you don't fuck with Shakur. Anybody go against him, then you don't fuck with. So you got a lot of content to talk about. If Carissa do something crazy in the streets with Papoose, now you got some content. You can go crazy. See, she out there doing crazy. I knew, what I'm saying? I knew she was hating on Tank, so you can go crazy, right? So it's divided. So in that divide, right, if you got one fan base that's rocking with Tank, are they getting schooled on everything? Or they just taking and biting from the big channel? You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit, they just biting that shit. Because when they bring it to their platform, they don't got all the tools with it. They don't got all the shit to break it down. They can only break it down, get you to one point, but all the way. And then when they get challenged, now they feel some type of way. So my thing is, if I was a pro, I'm pro Deontay, right? And I got other channels that pro Deontay. I'm gonna get with y'all and we're gonna break it down. So when you get in a tough situation, you know how to get through. Because when you doing this content shit, bro, motherfuckers ask you questions, try to throw your ass off. You talking about you talking about Deontay, and then they talking about fucking Naoya anyway or some shit. They talking about Elvis Rodriguez, asking you a question about Elvis Rodriguez. So my thing is, that's why I say you you can change the subject on me. It's okay because I'm trying to be well versed in boxing. So if you ask me a question about any fighter, we're gonna be able to handle that question. That's just me. That's just how I roll with that. Everybody don't have to do that, but that's just me because I want to be able to give somebody. If you ask me a question, I want to give you some type of guidance to that. But it's not a lot of motherfuckers is taking people by the hand, by the head, and say, "Bro, let me show you how you do this." You know what I'm saying? It's not that. Like with the credential shit though, or that's why I call myself the boxing plug. If anybody need that source, I have no problem tapping in. You know what I'm saying? No problem. I man, man, I never been the gatekeeper, so it's like motherfuckers be like, "Shit, I want to get an interview with this guy." You want to, man, bro? I'm putting you on. I'm giving you his number right now, bro. He about to call you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the way I do that. I'm more so like, shit, here you go. But it's all good. Just talking, it ain't nothing serious. But yeah, I'm about to get ready for this Parker and Worley fight. It's crazy that this shit on pay per view though. You know what I'm saying? It's oh yeah, I got that one. That I did for the interview to build trust. Oh yeah, I got that one. He said, okay, y'all talking to each other. Yes, sir. He said, everybody got that. Yeah, I'm with that too. Everybody got their own shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at that. Don't take that away. Um, I think still though, like the bigger channels, if you start a YouTube channel right now, we gonna go off. Well, that was go off for me when I started mine. I started mine in 2018, but I wasn't consistent. I was just bullshitting around, do a video every now and again, whatever, go talk. But I was basing my channel off of what I seen because that's just life. Like you get an idea and and then you go off. Okay, let me see. I go to all these channels and I'm getting ideas and I'm like, okay. I don't want to do it like that because I ain't on that type of time. My thing was I want to give everybody as much information as possible. The way I would want my knowledge, want my information. That's how I'm giving it. So I'm giving mad details. I'm talking about fighters and fights that nobody even think about, right? So that's how I wanted to do it. But I didn't really start tapping in like that and being more consistent until like the pandemic. I started really going crazy because there weren't no fights, and then Top Rank started doing their fights. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay consistent, and I've been consistent ever since then. But you gotta have a starting point. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is divided. The people who just talk about boxing and just keep it kind of down the middle and whatever, they don't, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna go crazy with the views and shit, which is okay with me because I never was really crazy into that because I know what it takes to get there. I feel like also sell your soul type shit because I'm not going to denigrate and go crazy on a fighter just to get views, and then you have to keep that up. And now I'm being somebody that I really am intended to be. That's just me. Not saying nobody else do that. I'm just speaking on myself. So yeah, bro. I think everybody got their own thing and it's cool. But what I was saying about the big channels are beefing with each other. All the big channels are beefing. So it's like when you start your, if you want to start a YouTube channel, that's who you going to get your information. Everybody subscribe to the Boxing Voice. Everybody listen, every big channel, everybody listen to and tapped in or they know about. So if they going at each other, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody needs somebody to lean on to, right? But it's like, damn, I go to a channel and they going crazy on this one and vice versa. I'm like, bro, y'all can have that because y'all not gonna meet. Y'all not gonna even. It ain't even gonna go past nothing. People mad at each other over a boxing opinion, which is nasty. So that shit is crazy. But I just say, yo, do your thing, find your niche. Like I had to find my niche. I was looking around like, okay, everybody doing tabloid boxing media. What I mean by that is, you know, like the shit with Tank and Shakur, people getting upset over that. This is boxing. This has been happening for years, and nobody really gave a thought to it. That's tabloid shit. You know what I'm saying? Creating narratives to push something. Like they trying to create a narrative to push the Crawford and Boots fight when Boots and Eddie Hearn is telling them they're not going that route right now, but people are pushing that, right? That's tabloid shit to me. So I've never been in that situation. Um, so I had to find my niche, and I look around and see what people are not doing. So what I seen was nobody's talking about the rankings. Boom, I must cover the rankings. Not a lot of people cover the fight week. It used to be a lot of people don't cover what's upcoming, what's coming. They only if they do, they only gonna cover the big fights of the people that they know. I break it all the way down. We down at 105. It ain't many channels talking about 105 shit. I haven't seen hardly no channels talking about 105 pounds. I mean, maybe they talk about Oscar Collazo when he fought, but they ain't breaking it all the way down. So those my niches. Just giving dropping information, fight dates, fight news, and then the rankings. The rankings is like that's the shit. Me starting talking about the rankings all these years got other people doing it, and that was my goal because I want everybody to have an insight on what happened in the rankings because real talk, I could break down the sanctioned body rankings and be like, he gonna fight him, he gonna fight him. Uh, you know what I'm saying? And that shit been working. It been working. So yeah, bro, it's all good. Tez in the building. What's good with you, bro? Tez 305. Yes, sir. So yeah, bro. Definitely find your niche in this shit, bro, and stay consistent. Those like the two basic things. If you want to go, see me, I can't go every day. I ain't gonna lie. If I did live every day, I probably wouldn't do this no more. I need to like kind of miss it a little bit or have something to say or have it on my mind. You know what I'm saying? But salute to everybody that's doing it every day. But when they do it every day, they're not more like I listen to channels. It's like the whole sport don't get covered, but you could cover the whole sport. It's just like the popular topics. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good though. People do their thing, bro. He said he take it to the house. Yeah, I can't go. Yeah, I can't go every day either. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pick my spots. I was thinking about doing it one time, just go live every day, just do a little hour, but I don't think I had the patience for that shit. I had to transform. I probably had to do open panel, which I've never been opposed to doing open panel as well. It's just just being transparent, man. Salute to you guys in the building too, just tapping in. We just just talking and whatever. But I used to do panels a lot, and I don't mind doing them. But I felt that, and maybe I'm tripping, but I felt like a lot of people kind of, let me see, I don't want to say it in a negative way, but I gotta speak. I feel like people be intimidated by my knowledge and don't want to come up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this dude, man, he know this, he know that, he know that, man. I don't want to come up there and feel like I don't know. Because that's another thing with these content creators, right? They feel like they gotta be right all the time. So they can't really tap in with somebody that's tapped in because they're gonna be like, it's that's gonna transform to me getting interviewed basically. So Elder, man, what you know about this? What you know about that? I'm like, bro, I'm just here to chop it up with you. I want to let me drop my opinion on the topic, and then you drop yours, and we may go back and forth, and then let's go to the next one. But a lot of times I go on panels, bro. I'm getting an interview. Like, man, so what's next? What's coming up next, bro? Because I don't, because see, I don't want to feel like I'm just whatever over somebody, and then you start asking me these questions. Now I have to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to rebut everything people say. I want to join the conversation. So I feel like I don't know, because I don't mind being on panels, but that's one of the reasons why I don't, because I don't want the host or somebody else to feel less than. I want to join and the reason why, and they may not happen before, or people know whatever, or I haven't done it to people, but it happened before though. Like during my time on YouTube, I jump on the channel, and it's all about me. I'm like, hold on, bro, I just want to get my opinion on this topic. They done hand me the mic and gave me control of the studio and all types of shit. Hey, bro, this your live, so it's all good though. But I just, and I always been open. Like I always tell people, bro, you can hit me behind the scenes, bro. What's good? A lot of people utilize that tool. It's a lot of people that don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. I'm always make sure everybody's straight. They want to be plugged in. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying though. It's like I try to get people tapped in and show them what I do, but I think you got to be interested in that shit though. Cause I'm nosy. I'm a nosy. I've been a nosy kid. I was always nosy, so I always kind of knew and eavesdrop shit and kind of knew what was going on all the time. Just being a youngin. So like now, my attention to detail to what these boxes and be saying is kind of like, okay, you can watch an interview and take one thing, and I can watch an interview and take a total different. I get something else from it. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I kind of understand, you know, I kind of like Eddie Hearn interviews, right? I like watching them because I could probably figure out his whole schedule. Just let him talk. Let me listen to him talk for 20 minutes. Oh, that fight not gonna happen. Because normally I picked up his rhythm. If Eddie say, "All right, Jerron Blue Sanders, this the fight we want. We want this guy, that guy, this guy." Bro, the last name he say is probably the name that they looking forward to, or the name that he gonna fight. I seen him do it like multiple times. He said, "I respect the fam. More than anything, people respect your knowledge and know you have greater discernment than most." Yeah, it's all good though. I appreciate it. I don't want like I never want nobody to feel less than though when I go on their channel and shit. I just be trying to drop knowledge. So if anybody offended by me, it's not me correcting them. It's just me giving them the facts because I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I'm on here and I'm wrong, I want y'all to tell me I'm wrong. Like, bro, nah, man, that's not right. But I feel like the whole thing of this. is putting out the correct information. Sometimes we'll get carried. My man Perro in the building. What's good with you, bro? Sometimes we get carried away with that information, and we start to fade away from it and add our own little season to that shit. And sometimes you don't need no season. The facts is the season. You just have to put it out there the correct way. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it is. Um, That's good though, bro. I just enjoy the people coming and tapping in with the content, tapping in with me, and y'all already know if you need some information, you know where to, what I'm saying, to do. And if I don't know, I'm gonna reach out. You know what I'm saying? Just from using my network skills. I know because one of our conversations regarding who's going to be called out next with Tank. Yeah, I appreciate it. Man, I appreciate you too, bro. Man, salute to all the content, people who do content, bro. This shit ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? TD Sports Talk. This shit ain't easy because it's not easy. You gotta do research. You gotta be tapped in with boxing. You gotta know what you're talking about. You know, it's it's like it's so much stuff to talk about in boxing. You don't have to just stick to one or two topics. You can break down fight. I like listening to guys who break down fights. That shit dope to me. Um, yeah, bro. I used to take little shit from for some people. I took something from T Street controversy. The best thing, and salute to him. The best thing that I liked about him, he used to break down the landscape of the division. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll talk about, let's say he talk about 154. Then he'll be like, all right, let's look at the rankings. Yo, I love that shit when he used to do that. So I took that shit from him. He don't do content like that. I was like, bro, I'm taking that shit, bro. And to me, when I took it, I kind of evolved it to something else, and kind of so if we talk about a division, I can definitely go crazy on that shit. So yeah, bro, it's all good. He said, yep, some folks make it seem easy. Now it's hard, bro, because like I said, once you find your niche in this, now if you tell yourself, I want to go 3 days out the week, so you gotta have the content to go. So if you doing the popular content, so then you have to pay attention. You have to watch because people get their content from others, and that's everybody. Nobody is making up shit. I mean, I try to separate myself and kind of predict fights that nobody think of, and it comes true, and I be on point. Like the Lima and Boots, shit, ain't nobody can ever knock me off that because nobody was thinking about Lima. When I said Lima and Boots, motherfuckers was mad. I was like, bro, that's who we fight. I just, I just did, I just did my original process of elimination and picked Lima based on who was available. But we all get our content from somebody. They get it from each other. So it's funny because a lot of the channels they talk about the same thing, but they on the opposite end of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing I'm thinking is black and white. This easy to break down. And one person that said, explain like how I'm thinking. I'm like, okay. Then I go to the other one to hear his side of the topic, and he done went a whole different direction. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, Vanilla Lopez. I just talked about it. He'll be back December the 12th. Here you go, bro. December the 12th. Yep, Vanilla Lopez. Now he was in talks to get the Rafael Espinoza fight, but it fell through. He chose Arnold Kagai. So Vanilla was going to fight at 130. So it looked like he's gonna make a push there and maybe get I don't know, maybe a Navarrete fight, maybe I don't know if Shockey Foster don't accept the fight with Fulton, maybe he'll get that. I don't know. But yeah, there you go, bro. Yes, sir. I find gratitude of making sure everybody informed. He said, "What happened to the bigger names?" For Vanalo to fight, I mean, right now, Tom Ring is in like a stalemate to make big fights. So he probably just have to wait until they get back, get their situation together where he can make a big fight. So we're gonna see. He said due to his weight move up. Yeah, and he's still finding his way after that bad knockout loss. Remember, he had a brain bleed. So I mean, I know he came back and had a first round knockout, but we don't know. We still don't know if he still can take punches correctly like he used to. So him staying active and fighting guys there's less than him, just to build his confidence back up is probably cool until he gets to that position where he can fight a bigger name. And Venado, he fought at 130 a couple of times before he dropped to 126. So maybe this is more natural weight anyway. So that's what's up, though. Yes, sir. So yeah, that shit right there is gratifying to make sure everybody at least tapped in with boxing because you know, especially like your favorite fighter type shit. Like if I know you have a favorite fighter and I got news on him, I'm hitting your inbox, bro. I'm in your inbox telling you, bro, look out, yo. He right here. He gonna try to do this, then negotiations, whatever. But yeah, it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody coming through the building though. I appreciate you guys' support for sure. I'm about to tap in with this card, Fabio Worley and Joseph Parker, yo. We're about to tap in with this. It's on pay per view though. That's nasty for us, but we're gonna watch it for sure. This fight is actually a huge fight because the winner of this is gonna get Usyk. Usyk already announced that he's coming back and he's gonna fight until he's 41. He's about to turn 39 in January, so that's 2 more years. And in the rotation for his undisputed crown, Parker is first up. He's the WBO interim champion. Worley is WBA interim champion, but his title is not on the line. The WBO is. So the winner of this get Parker because basically they ordered the fight, Usyk and Parker, but Usyk he said he had a back injury, so he got an exemption. So you know what I'm saying. So Usyk gonna fight the winner. He said hopefully when shot finish off Fulton. Yeah, but I mean that'd be cool. You know what I'm saying. I feel like Top Rank don't got nothing for O'Shaquie Foster to be honest. But O'Shaquie Foster and Top Rank has the option to pull out of the Steve Fulton fight because the fight been postponed so many times. So it's supposed to happen. Well, it's been postponed like 4 times. So they have that option. The thing to that is if O'Shaquie Foster pulls out of that, what Top Rank gonna do for him? Because Top Rank already ain't fucking with him. And proof to that is they gave Cassiel the world title just for him to have a parade in Brazil just to lose it right after that. And I thought O'Shaquie won that first fight. And they wasn't. And another thing, they got a ready-made unification at 130 with Navarrete. They haven't even mentioned that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, pay-per-view is crazy. I never been the one to tell people to buy anything pay-per-view apps or whatever, bro. Y'all, if y'all want to watch it, y'all know how. That's how I say. And I don't agree with all these things being on pay-per-view, but I understand it. I don't agree with it. Like everything on pay-per-view, that's crazy. Yeah, fair fighter in real life as well, for sure, Dub. And fortunately, with the event of social media, yeah, it is toxic, nasty, toxic, whatever. But the nasty and toxic, that will get the views. You know what I'm saying? This, you can peep channels. The nasty topics get the views, and that's what people are gonna rock with. Because if you in here to get views and go crazy, then you got to do that. Fair fighter syndrome, that is. Maybe in Mexico, shocks out of South fan base. Okay, since the Rocky fight would be dope, man. If Top Rank fucking with him like that, let's get it. How you see that fight possibly playing out? I like Parker by decision. It's gonna be dangerous though because Worley, that dude can punch. But I noticed in late in fights, Worley get tired. He gets tired, mouth be open, and he loses his form. He can still punch, but I think that's when Parker can kind of take control of the fight. Unless Cali will be fired, shit, let's get it. I mean, if that's something Top Rank can put together, I'm with it. He definitely won the first fight. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're talking about shot. Yeah. So that's what it is, man. Salute to everybody coming through the building, bro. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm about to get ready to watch these fights and just chill, whatever. I appreciate the support. That's my time, and I'm out.